Hello to everybody again from Tiverton Bead and Wool Shop, and welcome to our podcast number 5. Yes, it is 5 already, and it's been a while since the number 4, purely because we've been really busy. The summer's been running past us like, in a high speed, and now we are nearly in autumn, and in the shop we are so busy with receiving new deliveries and going on and on about it. But I would like to thank all our subscribers, the new ones, the old ones, the existing ones, the ones who have come back or whatever. As far as you're a subscriber, or even if you're not a subscriber, just watching us, I would like to thank you very much for spending time with me. And in this podcast, I would like to show you a couple projects which you have seen how finished in the previous one and see how they worked out. Show a couple of new exciting things which do excite me. So I'm quite, when you open a box in a shop and you think, oh, this is nice. Oh, this is interesting. So there's quite a few of those things. And well, if we start with something which is very plain and obvious, my jumper. This jumper I have knitted not a while, well, what's while? I would say I finished it beginning or mid-June. So that's like a couple months ago. And to be honest, because of the summer being so hot, I haven't worn it. So this jumper, I think it's quite nice. It's quite well fitting. It's all done in a linen flax or a linen and cotton mix. And the design comes from this book. It's Danish designer Helga Isager, and the pattern is called Yarn Over. There. Originally it was using slightly different yarns, but because I like my summer jumpers to be proper cotton or cotton and linen, I don't like wool in the summer. I love my woolies in the winter, but in the summer, especially when it's damp, when it's like this hair curling weather, look at me. Today outside is this kind of heavy mist and it just curls up everything. So I don't like wool in that kind of season. So I have done mine pattern from this book, and the yarns I used is this one, Isager Bomulin. The Bomulin is 65% cotton and 35% linen, and to that I added Trio, and Trio is 50% flax or linen, 30% cotton and 25% bamboo. And as you can see, it's so fine, and most of the patterns in the book are using 2 yarns together. So I used 1 strand of each yarn and I knitted them together. And can you see how it created can you see that kind of patina melange it's called, I guess? And it's really comfy. It's very nice. And I think the fit is really nice. And I particularly like the neckline, how it's finished. I have done everything as per book, so there is no my imagination or no my work. I tried the pattern out. I done everything as per book. I must admit, on the beginning, I didn't know what's going on because it's knitted top down, and you start with kind of casting on and on a straight. More and more stitches, but as you can see, if I turn gently, can you see how nicely the neck fits? The back is higher than the front, so I thought that is really nice detail. And so I like my jumper, as you gathered. The other jumper, which is finished, which I would like to share with you, and for those of you who have been watching the podcast number 4, have seen this one in pieces. And as I said before, this one I have used my knitting machine and hand knitting, because to be honest, I hate knitting stockinette stitch in the plain. It just drives me bonkers. That's why this jumper actually should have been slightly longer, but I just ran out of steam. I thought, oh, that will do. That's it. That's enough for me. So I knitted the front up to there on machine. Same on you don't want to turn, do you? All right. So the back is identical. Back was done on machine up to the armpit. Same with the sleeves. You can see there is a seam, right? And then all joined on the same circular needle and knitted up by hand. And I'm really, really pleased how this young lady looks, because you can nearly not notice the difference where the machine knitting starts and the hand knitting starts, you know, where is the joint line. So I'm very, very pleased how it looks. So that's another one finished. See, finished. So 2 ticks in a box. And then when we start to talk about machine knitting and combining machine knitting and hand knitting, there is something that I have been knitting for a while. And these ones are summer ponchos, or whatever. It doesn't mean it's summer. These little ponchos, can you guess the yarn I'm using? Some of you possibly will guess it very, very easily. And I do it like one ball does the job. It's done on machine. And please, 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 do not send me messages. Oh, can I have a pattern, please? No, you can't, because there is no pattern. Because this is just a long rectangle and stitched up on one side, right? You can do it in any yarn, in any tension you like, as far as you roughly follow the measurements. So the width, as you can see, the width of your knitting, or if you wouldn't stitch it up, it would be a long shawl, right? The width of your shawl is from your wrist to the armpit, and the length of the poncho to the fold there is from the center to your wrist. So if you follow those measurements, cast on whatever you need, do your little tension square, just keep knitting. If you do this by hand, you will die from boredom, but you can come in and buy them already made. I'm just saying, you know. But anyway, yeah, so these ones work out quite nicely. And what I particularly like is actually that there you have one side and there you have other side. And now then, have you guessed the yarn I'm using? You might have, because what I'm using is Shepia swirls, old good Shepia swirls. One ball, 1,000 meters does that job. If you will change tension, or if you will change the pattern, you might need more or might need less. But I have done the ponchos exactly, and the last bits I'm using for tassels, right? Whatever is left over goes on the tassels. And the interesting thing is, if you look on every ball of whirl, you can roughly imagine, like this one, the one side of the poncho will be dark, dark blue to pale blue, other side will be pale blue to purple. This one will be off-white to grey, and then other side will go to dark blue. So it's quite interesting how the colors work. Now then, it is proper hair curler. My hair are still curling while I'm talking to you. And it's so humid. So now then, what else I can show you? There's quite a lot of things. Oh, as we were talking about the Danish design and Isager yarns, this little beauty I just knocked out. Well, no, in my spare time. But no, this one took me a while, because it's the most beautiful, simple little baby cardie. We have made them up in the kits with the pattern, buttons and everything. And the pattern comes from Isager yarns, and the yarn comes from Isager yarns, and it's the pattern is called Carl and Caroline. So you can find them on our website. But I thought this little beauty was just really, really nice to do. But I would still say that this one I would classify as advanced to medium knitting, purely because there's quite a lot of detail. Can you see there is a little detail on the bottom? Nothing is complicated, but it asks for your attention. It's not something which you can kind of watch films and just meanwhile you kind of, you know, keep knitting. This one does ask for your attention. And like there is this beautiful detail for the raglan. Can you see? There is short rows. Again, I really like the result, how the necks look on their patterns. Because can you see the neckline again is all nice. The back is higher, the front is lower. There's some short rows there. So it's really, really worked out nicely. And this one again is done all in one. well, not all in one. So you do the bottom part up to the armpits, then you do the sleeves, and then you join all the cardi together and do all the yoke in one. So, and yeah, less stitching up. Yeah, because on this one, the only stitching up was the sleeve. Yeah, so this one is, again, one of the things I knocked out in a time while I had nothing to do. And the other thing, which kind of leads us slowly to the new season. And people who've been following us on the Facebook and Instagram already know that we had Rowan Moda at Rowan Lounge in a shop now nearly a week ago. And yeah, so we are cracking on with that, and I really, really like the Rowan Moda. Rowan Moda is, before I show you this one, Rowan Moda is a concept. There is the main book, Moda at Rowan Collection 1. And what it is, it's a concept of using nearly all, there are some new colors, but they use existing yarns in really nice new contemporary way with new designs. It's kind of reviving the yarns and putting together a selection of the capsule wardrobe or capsule yarns for the season from existing ranges. And I think it's a brilliant idea, because the colors are beautiful, very neutral, very kind of grays, beiges. See, that's, everything is wearable. Everything is usable. And that's kind of, I nearly sound like my mother. You know, everything needs to be useful. Nothing too kind of, you know, complicated. So what I'm using, what I'm knitting from the book is, I'm knitting a sample for the shop, and I'm knitting this cardi. And I have back ready. Ta-da! The cardi is kind of wider, more wide than it, and it looks really huge on camera. It's not that big in the real life. I don't know why the camera makes it all look big, but I have back ready. At home I have one front, and I have started the second front. So the chances are that in a week or so I will have the cardigan ready for display. And this one is knitted in a Rowan Kid Classic, and I must admit I haven't knitted with that before, and I'm really impressed. It's a mohair and wool mix. Can you see? It has that nice gentle frizz, and it is really soft and really nice to wear. Then the other new things, whoa. The other thing which I really like is this. I love the colors. This one is the new book with new colors by designer Dee Hardwick. And you will be laughing, I have a special relationship, because sometimes when you go to trade shows and you meet these designers and you see them in life, and you actually have a chat with them and you find out how they work, how they actually start design, how they start the range, what gives them inspiration. And it's so interesting, at least to me, that is very interesting. And I met Dee Hardwick at Cologne show, and there I saw her mood board, which basically looked like that. There was drawings, paintings, some yarn samples, flowers, and so on. And now we have the book, and now we have the colors. And what she has done, she has used 4 colors from Rowan existing range, and that is all felted tweed, by the way. And she has created 4 new colors to go with it. That is the 4 Dee Hardwick colors. But all of them 4, I will try to lift it up now so you can see the full color scheme. They all work together so nicely. It's just beautiful. And my favorite, there's straw. Wouldn't you want it on your sofa? I would. And so I would like the cushions. I think they are just gorgeous. And the other thing, I think the last one for this one, because like I say, we have a lot of new things coming in, and I'm trying to divide it so I don't overwhelm you too much. But I think this pattern will be the pattern of the season. It's by Cafe Facet. This one is his new book. The book has obviously other patterns as well, but the sampler scarf, I think, is a big winner. I must admit there is a little drawback because he loves using the color. Can you guess how many colors, how many different colors of felted tweed been used there? That would be kind of a good competition, online competition question. But yeah, well, actually, we could do online competition, could we? You comment below how many colors of felted tweed do you think are used in Cafe Facet's new sampler scarf. You can find the information somewhere, but just do a rough guess. And we will be doing, actually in the shop, we will be doing workshop to teach you techniques. We will have a guest tutor coming and teach you techniques used in this scarf. Yeah, so that will be end of October. So for those locally who are watching me and who would like to attend the workshop, please go on our website. I will put the link below in the comments. We have only 6 spaces left, so hurry up. And there will be all the prices, description, what you need, and everything is on our website. So I'm not going over it again. But yeah, so that is shortly and quickly it for today. So I hope you enjoyed my kind of short run over the latest projects, what I'm doing, what I'm working on. And I hope you will come back and watch us again. And yeah, all the information is below. You can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on Instagram, and you of course can visit our website, which again, all the information is below. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing if you do. And I will see you all soon